Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the place where drunk Terran players smash their heads together like the absolute baboons they are. In the top left, we have the astronomical enthusiast, incredibly high-level Brazilian Terran player Inexorable, known for clicking with his dick when he plays StarCraft. If there's one way I could describe this man's style, it's if you imagine his opponent's base is a glory hole, this man will stick anything he can find inside that hole because he has absolutely zero fear and just likes sticking it in. If you think that's an unhinged intro, just wait until we talk about this man in the bottom right. Representing Hyper One, we've got Cooked Mono. That's right, guys, it's Honmono. If you don't know Honmono is what happens when you give far too many drugs to a Korean child when its brain is still developing, and then you drop it on its head a few times, and somehow it actually makes it better at StarCraft, not worse. Honmono is a massive weirdo. He all-ins almost every game. He has very little macro skill, and yet he is actually really friggin' good and is often above 6,000 MMR and taking maps off pro gamers with his unhinged cheeses. Speaking of unhinged cheeses, he's going to be going for a double barracks up here, and we are going to be seeing if Inexorable, with a more conservative opening, at least to begin with, can defend a very quick, what appears to be a double barracks Reaper rush by the looks of it. Interestingly, only 2 workers on this gas. Okay, no, he's going to go 3 on one gas, 3 on the other. And you can notice, doesn't rally the worker to the inside, pulls a worker off with minerals in their hand onto the gas. The sort of attention to detail you expect from a guy whose entire goal is basically just to confuse his opponent and fuck with him as hard as possible. Now, this is going to be a Reaper rush. Yeah, okay, so we've got 2 Reapers on the way in a moment. Second Reaper should start with 50 gas. There we go. So it's going to be a 2x Reaper rush. Inexorable is not SCV scouting, which means he is in trouble. Now, guys, this is a best of 3 from a tournament. You might wonder, what is the tournament? What are the stakes? I don't know. I don't care. These replays got recommended and sent to me, and I went, yeah, these 2 idiots playing. Normally, I think TVT, is that going to be that exciting? Maybe, maybe not. But not only did it come highly recommended, I saw the 2 names in the replay, and I went, yeah, this is going to be stupid fun. Let's take a look. It's also unlikely to be 2 guys sitting there building ravens and tanks and defending against each other, which is my least favorite version of TVT. Sorry, Maru. I respect you for doing it. I know it is the best way to play, but not the most exciting to watch. Cooked Mono's first 2 Reapers coming in. If he can isolate that Reaper... Oh, he's already stopped the factory, which means the Hellion can't start. You need to put an SCV on that. Okay, the factory's about to finish. The SCVs are fighting. That Reaper needs to be very careful. SCVs are buffering. Funnily enough, the command center is still building in the midst of this, but that SCV does go down. 2 Reapers on the high ground. If he can throw a zoning grenade, he can defend these 2, and it feels like the 3rd Reaper's a little bit late here. Factory coming down behind this for Cooked Mono. I don't know if... I mean, he gets a cancel on the command center. Is that enough damage? Well, you're up on SCV. New command center does go up on the high ground for Inexorable. Oh, 4 Reapers trying to run up the ramp with the Hellion there. And, of course, the grenade going down defensively is not going to be able to do it. I've just realized, guys, my new wireless mouse I've got plugged in right now. Wait! Oh, no, it unplugged. Never mind, it's fine! I had it plugged in to charge there, and I was like, why does my mouse feel so heavy? Oh, it has a wire, that's why. Anyways, Depot does take some heavy damage. He's going to pull back for now. 3 SCVs have gone down. I mean, good unit retention for Honmono, but I think he's probably got to back out of this and think about a command center of his own now. He's got a factory with the Tech Lab starport going up. What in the unhinged debauchery is this? Oh my god, he tries to run up the ramp. He loses a Reaper. I mean, that's so stupid. When you know your opponent's massing Reaper Hellion, running up this ramp, guys... I mean, I was saying Inexorable's the guy who likes the glory holes, but I feel like Honmono just had a little bit of a pokey poke there and did find out there was someone on the other side who did scratch it with their fingernails. Anyways, Honmono's going 2 racks Marauder proxy after the 2 racks Reaper. Now, in any sane person's mind, Inexorable here being the sane one, these barracks have started floating home because no one's going to keep committing to Reapers here. But, oh god, the Reapers are getting caught! Oh my god, the Reapers are getting caught! The Reapers are getting caught! The Reapers are getting caught! But wait, good zoning grenades. He does lose 1 Reaper, but look, the Marauders are out. Can the Marauders turn this fight? Marauders are very tanky here because they're not light units, which means the Hellions don't do bonus damage. That's why Inexorable is chasing after the Reapers, because those are the light units. But this is actually really bad for Honmono. If Honmono didn't show his hand and surprised him with the Marauders, he could have got in there and wrecked him, because look how slow this Cyclone is. There's no other units. It was just Hellions and Reapers. Oh, the Hellion Reaper intercepts the Cyclone. Honmono is going to lose the Cyclone. He does take out a Reaper and a Hellion, though, which is something the Marauders and the Reaper are going to run into. This game's absolutely entering the poop verse right now. For those who don't know, the poop verse is a place you go where the game gets incredibly, incredibly messy. It's essentially what happens when everything goes into slow-mo. You guys know when your friend takes a bag of feces and throws it into a ceiling fan when you guys were hanging out back in school, and then everything goes into bullet time as, like, it explodes in the fan and flecks go everywhere? You guys don't have that memory? You probably didn't go to a boys' school. All boys' schools are actual zoos. Anyways, the Marauders are coming in. They are doing big damage. 7 SCVs have already gone down. The Reaper and the Marauder trying to pull back here. The Cyclones and the Marines trying to chase after them. And we've got 3 Marauders and 1 Reaper. But look at that. They don't shoot up the Banshee's almost here. I think Inexorable's about to hold on right now. Is he going to be able to do a good Cyclone micro for Inexorable? He locks on, gets rid of the Marauder. Honmono here. He's done pretty sick damage. Can he finish him off? Oh my god, can he finish the Cyclone? Oh, the repair is good. Is it enough to defend the Marauders though? No, it's not. The Marauders do take care of that. Oh wait, there's a Cyclone. Honmono's rallied a Cyclone across the map. The other one died, but he's got a new Cyclone here. Dude, he could kill that Banshee maybe. Maybe, but he's worried about a tank or Cyclone popping out here, so he's going to pull back. He's got his own command center up. Honmono's in a really good spot then, because he's got the command center up on the natural. Then again, there is an orbital here dropping mules already, and we're going to go... Cloak is for tryhards. We're going to go Banshee speed. Inexorable's like, in survival mode, you'd think Cloak is the natural instinct for most players. He's like, nah, I want them to fly faster. Let's go. To be fair, maybe you can fly away from the Cyclone lock-on and break it then. Ooh, the Cyclone goes too far forward. Honmono loses a Cyclone, and the Marauder has to pick up and pull back, and that's going to allow Inexorable now, after 6 minutes of chaos, to reclaim control of his natural. Finally, the barracks are giving up as well. The Banshee checks for that and says, okay, about time you went home. And you got to imagine, in Inexorable's mind, you haven't gone any further than here across the map. So you're like, is there 3 bases? Is there 2? Has Honmono not expanded at all? He really doesn't know, so he's got to move out to find out. Unfortunately, oh, great micro there. Honmono catches one of the Banshees and then picks up the Cyclone and says, you can't hit me. Get wrecked, idiot. Oh, Honmono's keeping him good. Dude, this is a sick opening for Honmono. Honmono's going to start a 3rd command center. 2 barracks are going to land at home. He's got Cyclones and Ravens building behind this. This is actually legitimately really good play. For those who don't know, these guys are both Grandmasters. Honmono, like I said, has been 6K a bunch of times. I don't know if Inexorable's... What's the highest Inexorable's ever been? Like 5.7? 5.6 maybe? I'm not sure. I think Honmono's reached higher levels. But I would also say Inexorable's a bit higher level at like more standard play, whereas Honmono, no matter what stage it is in the game, you never know when he's just going to do a crazy all-in, right? We'll see what happens from here. Where is it? Where is it? Fusion Core. I've seen you on the production tab, mate. All right, so we're going to go 2 base. I guess he's got a 3rd command center, so he's going to go into battle cruisers behind this. Honmono wants to keep things special here. And on the other hand, it's just what? A bunch of barracks, engineering bays, or engineering bay, I should say. So 4 barracks, engineering bay, 5th barracks. Okay, so Inexorable wants to play like 2 base bio tank counterattack, delaying his 3rd massively to do this, and finally sneaking a Banshee across the map. He did cancel Banshee speed, by the way. I think after that Banshee got shot down earlier. Oh, this medevac goes way too deep. That's such a dumb move for Honmono. Why would you fly in with a full medevac that deep into a base 8 minutes into the game? Like... Yeah, I get he didn't have a lot of anti-air earlier, but like it's like a half hit point medevac with 3 units inside. Luckily, he saves the Cyclone, but he does lose the medevac and 2 Marauders. It's justified to fly the empty medevac through just to sacrifice it to scout, but the way he just did that was pure chaos. Is that a 4th command center? Honmono has a 4th command center. The Banshee scouts it. Inexorable's like, wait, you must have a natural, right? And he's got to assume. There's no way your opponent's got 3 command centers on 1 base. So he's like, wait, are you on 4 command centers right now? Like, and you're doing a 2 base all in, so you know you were on a timer. He scans, he sees a fusion core. He scans, he sees a fusion core, but he also sees 2 Marines, 1 Cyclone, 1 tank. He knows Honmono has almost no units. Honmono has very few units. Losing those couple Marauders is actually a tragedy for Honmono. He's got a Raven, his battle cruiser's about to come out, but Inexorable has a Viking. And he's building 8 Marines at a time, which is not terrible. I mean, they're not even going to have combat shields. There's stim Marines with +1 weapons. Honmono scans here just to see what's going on. And Inexorable is going to pull the boys the second the scan runs out. He's like, what? I'm just macroing, bro. And the moment the scan runs out, he's like, we're pulling the boys. Now, guys, pulling the boys into Terran is actually sick. You should never do that. It is so ridiculous. Meanwhile, Honmono's sneaking an expansion out the right side, trying to hide it. But you're not meant to pull boys into Marine tank. They're going to gun it down so quickly. The 2nd tank isn't siege, though. Honmono, he's a bit slow to siege the tank. He's got 2 bunkers, 2 Cyclones. His own boys are pulling. It's a battle of the drilly boys right now. The siege tank's trying to defend for Honmono, but there's so many stim Marines. Who needs combat shields when you've got SCVs up front to tank for you? I can't believe it. The battle cruiser's going to come in. He needs to bring the battle cruiser home. He's forgotten about the BC, but there's too many Marines. Plus the Vikings and the Cyclone, they could take down a BC easily. He's just going to shove in Inexorable with a clutch SCV pull before the battlecruisers and 4 command centers pay off. One has to question the choice to go 4 command centers here. The VC 1 second from popping. The 1 second from popping battlecruiser. Oh my god. I mean, if he had 2 BCs, is there a realm where he could have made this work with like the hidden base? Because he has a planetary over there. If he had 2 BCs and he kills the starports and then like, nah, I think there's just too many Marines. There's 37 Marines. Marines without combat shields, I mean, these guys so fast to battle cruisers. I just, even with 2 BCs, I don't think there's a way he could have brought this back. And that's actually really nice. Bunch of SCVs do get away. He's trying to take gases and land his barracks down there and that sort of stuff. The BC, though, is going to have a whole bunch of Marines now with combat shields jumping on top. And that battlecruiser is going to try and kite away. But look at that. Cyclone comes out as well. Unfortunately, the Cyclone didn't lock on initially, but he's going to get it. And that's going to be GG. Honmono, his battlecruiser goes down. And it's just, man, I can't believe he got punished. To be fair, you know what's so funny? If Inexorable wasn't insane enough to do this, if he does anything other than an SCV pull, the 4 command centers actually pays off, right? But he scouts it with the Banshee, and then that's so funny. The scan here, he's like about to pull the boys. Scan comes in, he's like, what? This is totally normal. Even though Honmono should see he's not mining gas, Honmono's like, oh, okay. He's just doing a Marine tank push, and then grabs the... So freaking dumb, man. But he's on 2 base, so if he doesn't actually go finish Honmono, he's screwed long term. Because Honmono's gonna be making like battlecruiser tanks, bunkers. He's on 4 command centers. He's making higher quality units that can just like go in, pick off units, teleport away. You're on 2 command centers. You actually have to go. So this is a genius decision for Inexorable. Sick game 1 victory for the Brazilian. All right. Going into the game 2, it's the bottom right LA lines. Well, the bottom left. I think this is left, right, guys? I'm in the right. He's in the left over there. It's Inexorable. Top right, we've got Honmono. Cooked Mono. And he's... Dude, this is so suboptimal. Guys, normally you send one SCV out, then you send the other one later, because you have money to build the barracks at different timings. And that way the first Reaper can start earlier, and then you can get the 3rd Reaper earlier because of that. Honmono, look at this. His depot's done. And he's just like, nah, I wait 20 seconds, then I send my SCVs out because I don't want to place the barracks at 2 separate timings. You're a 6K Terran player. How have you not... You're doing the same build twice in a row. Why are we doing the... You're meant to send the SCVs out at different... You're meant to send basically one of your first SCVs across the map and then the next one a few seconds later. I don't know how. You know why? What's so great about Honmono? For those who haven't heard the OG Honmono story, the first time I played him, I literally was so embarrassed. He destroyed me in a TVP. I was playing Protoss at that time. I was maining Protoss for a little bit, trying to improve. And I was like, this guy's actually a baboon. Like, I was looking at the game and like the decisions he was making and how he's executing his builds. And I was like, this guy's really friggin' trash at StarCraft. Like, I was so angry and embarrassed. And then I played him again. I think he beat me again. And I was like, I might need to study his builds. And we were like, no. Like, you know, and the line I got, there was a Korean guy in my chat. And he's like, oh, you don't know Honmono? He's like, Honmono is famous. One trick all in. One trick all in. He beats every pro gamer first time, 1 game, and then they never lose to him again. And I was just like, he's one of these players, I see. You've built a he's like, you know, I love that kind of broken English explanation of Honmono. And I'm like, if you're a top pro, yes, that probably applies. If you're me, he's a struggle to beat, man. Even when you like, you got to scout him every 30 seconds to check what weird crap he's up to. Now, Inexorable is trying to play more like a normie here. He's kind of like, well, I'm playing a guy who's so crazy. Normally, I'm the guy doing 1-base drops and battle cruisers, but in this case, I'll be the defender. Oh, he didn't pull extra SCVs. Inexorable, you meant to pull extra SCVs here. Massive mistake for Inexorable. You're meant to have at least 4. Sometimes pros will have 5 or 6 SCVs waiting for the first jump in. Inexorable knew what was happening, but he didn't respond correctly. If he loses this Marine, he's actually screwed. But 2 Marines could be good. Going up that ramp is actually insane for Honmono. He almost lost that Reaper, but he gets away with it. Hellions are out. I think it's fine for Inexorable because he's only lost 1 SCV, but the Reapers will be able to jump back in. We'll see what goes on. Is he going to go Marauders afterwards again? Is this just like a solid opening for Honmono? I don't even know. Oh, the SCV's not able to block him though. But no more units died, so I think he's fine. He can repair the Hellion. Second Hellion coming out adds a lot of splash. Remember, Hellions do 14 damage versus light. 2 Hellions, that is 28 damage. It basically puts a group of Reapers down to half-life, which is massive. Now, another SCV goes down, but a Reaper dies as well, which weakens this pressure. Once again, Factory Tech Lab Starport coming up behind it. What is Honmono going to do different? Surely, yeah, I was like, surely you don't just build tech labs, right? So he's going to send one barracks to float in for the scout, one barracks to go home. And this is a more standard follow-up. If he runs up this ramp, it is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. So basically in this situation, guys, you have no unit production except one Cyclone building, and you know this guy's like massing units and could counter push you really hard. So you need to keep these Reapers alive to pair up with a Cyclone for power to try and deny him coming down. But jumping up the cliff now makes sense because you've got the barracks. So you can pick off this depot from the low ground. This is actually a really good move for Honmono, because if Inexorable tries to fight, you can just keep zoning him with grenades. And look at those grenades! Oh, that was sick! Gets himself a Hellion Snipe. The barracks lands there. It's just like, lol, 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 look at me. Dude, this is sick. This is actually sick. Oh, he gets another Hellion! Honmono playing with his food right now. Get wrecked, Inexorable. This is what happens when you play defensive. Inexorable's a very good aggressive player. Is he good at defending Honmono's crazy cheese? I don't think so. Honmono too good. But wait, Cyclone's about to pop out. He gets himself another SCV. Forces a lot of SCVs off the line. Cyclone isn't able to get a lock on. Wait, why is he still running up the ramp? He's seen a Cyclone and he's still running up the ramp. Honmono. Literally, someone teach this guy the waistband trick. He doesn't know how to put it away, guys. This man's whole hog, he unzips his fly and just lets it sit out. Like, mate, have some respect. You gotta tuck that under. That's why we wear those elastic pants. That's what the waistband is for, man. It's so you can hide that boy. Just make sure you're not wearing a small t-shirt and putting your hands over your head, or you might reveal too much. The gents in the chat know what I'm talking about. We've all made that mistake before. A little bit of accidental indecent exposure. It's going to be the empty medevac snipe this time around. Cyclone and Marine trying to defend that Reaper, that reactor, sorry, very damaged. These grenades are really good, and this Cyclone's struggling to get in range. Oh, he gets a lock on the medevac. Good damage there. Honmono with some really sick grenades. He's got the more mobile army, but Honmono does need to pull back now. He's going to lose his medevac. That's actually a really good snipe by Inex. So Inex chases that one down. He's going to lose quite a few Marines, though, and that Cyclone's got to be careful. There's two Cyclones and a pack of Reapers, but with the tank sieging up, Honmono, I can't believe he ran in tank range. That was so risky. Both players using scans here. And Honmono takes a lot of damage across those units. But he's got a command center up. Banshee coming in. Tank as well. And again he's going to go Fusion Core into 4 gases immediately on his natural. Inexorable's on 1 base right now with no command center. No command center. BCs are going to checkmate him because he just doesn't have a follow-up. But it's pure Cyclone with mag field. 3 Cyclones and Reapers with mag field. These Cyclones need to come in from behind. If he can pick off these tanks, that'll be big. He's going to run away. Dude, he could go hit the production potentially, but he needs to not get cornered. Oh, good moves, though. He's got to build tanks, though. Still building Cyclones and Banshees is Honmono. He needs tanks and bunkers, I think, just to defend this big army, because you know Inexorable is stuck right now, trying to do a 1 base all in. He's got a Banshee flying in from this side. The medevac's come back to join the army. I love the scans to keep him pinned. Fusion Core is now done. Battlecruiser is about to start, but guess what? Cyclones just left the base, and the Banshee flies in, and Inexorable says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Honmono. Where's your anti-air? Where's your anti-air, Mr. Honmono?" Not only did you see the Fusion Core and the Starport, the Banshee that spotted the 4 command centers in the previous game, in this game also is going to come in and ruin him, forcing his whole army home. And that was the only thing keeping Inexorable pinned back on his side of the map. The Banshee is going to get 8 SCVs, massive losses of mining time, and that means there's not enough money to start a battlecruiser. Meanwhile, Honmono's Banshee does go in and starts picking off these Marines as they pop out of the barracks. But look, he's now allowed across the map. These Cyclones are a map control unit. They need to be forward, and the medevac Cyclone do pick off a Reaper already. Really nice moves, but great Reaper grenades, dude. The Reaper grenade Cyclone combo is so sick. SCVs are being pulled again. Inexorable knows he's in a desperate position. He can't handle Honmono's proxy barracks bullshit, man. He's gonna pull the boys. I think Honmono has to pull to the main. He's got to pull to the main. But oh no, he let his Cyclones get tagged. He just lost 3 Cyclones. He's got to pull up the ramp to the main. He's got a tank up there. Dude, that tank just did a killer shot. Just took out a bunch of Marines. Command center lives. This other tank, though, he's rallying a tank out. No, Honmono gets another tank rallied out. His Banshee has denied all of the mining. It's a complete all-in. The tanks and Marauders need to take out this high ground siege tank, and they're going to be able to. If the second tank was there in the Cyclones, Honmono should have defended this. But Inexorable's boy pull, is he barely going to break him again? Starport, if that battlecruiser gets out, he wins the game. Battlecruiser pops in like 20 seconds. The battlecruiser pops in 20 seconds. The SCVs are trying to repair the Starport, but he's going to focus it down. You're kidding me. The SCVs are repairing. The Starport's gaining hit points right now. Guys, he needs to focus the SCVs. The battlecruiser's going to pop. No, the battlecruiser's going to pop. The SCV repair just saved it. Inexorable. He needed to kill that. Now the BC. 5 seconds from popping. Starport's down to 300 hit points. 3, 2, 1. He gets it. He gets it. There was not enough units. There's only 2 Marines that shoot up. If that battlecruiser popped out, it 100% wins this game. He was so close to saving this with the starport. Then again, there's still a Banshee. There's still a Banshee on the other side of the map. But, problem, there's plenty of gas. So all an Inexorable needs to do is lift the starport, land it somewhere, drop some mules, build a Viking, and a Viking will clean up this cloakless Banshee. So he also could do it with Marine Medevac Micro by dodging the Banshee shots and then picking up and dropping. But I think this should still be a win for Inexorable because Honmono just has no units, right? He's building 1 Hellion, he's got the 1 Banshee, and yeah, Inexorable's realized, like, wait, if I just land this starport, I could do it. And Honmono's like, oh god, if he builds a flying unit, I'm screwed. Things he could just build more Marines. He could rebuild a Tech Lab, build a Cyclone. Inexorable is not supply blocked. He's got tons of depots. Mules are starting to mine. I love that he misclicked a mule. The adrenaline is pumping right now. He misclicked a mule there. And this is going to be a 2-0 for Inexorable, I think. Dude, what a fun series. And I think, you know, as always, when you watch cheesy players, it's similar to, like, anyone who's watched a lot of pro play, not a lot of average Joe players, or maybe doesn't play that much, you might recognize this sort of pattern from when we watch Hero play StarCraft, because Hero is also a kind of somewhat cheesy guy. And cheesy players always gamble. Cheesy players literally never play safe. So Honmono in both of these games did not need to go battle cruisers, right? He could have played any standard style, I think, and been in a really good position. But he's like, no, I play battle cruisers because they're fun and annoying for my opponent to deal with. And if you're like a really conservative player, you look at this and you go, what an idiot. He should have just hedged his bets and played safe. Guys, have you guys ever had a friend who just basically put all their money on Dogecoin? And then the next week it's on like fucking, what was it called? Updog or like Dick Coin or whatever the fuck. You know, basically they're just degenerate gamblers. That's essentially what a Honmono is. And people always be like, but you made $1 million. Why didn't you just sell it and invest it in a safe investment like property or in an index fund? Do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to Hon motherfucking Mono. This guy, if his idea of a safe investment is taking it to the casino and putting it all on red and just going, it's a 50-50, I double it, you know? Well, technically it's a 49-51 or whatever the actual odds are, but or 48%. That's the sort of mindset you're talking about in this sort of game. And you know, I always make the mistake of doing it when I'm commentating Hero, where I'm like, why wouldn't you just hedge your bet when you're ahead? Because then Hero wouldn't be Hero, Honmono wouldn't be Honmono, and we would be watching much more boring games. Now, he's doing a really good job. He's actually getting cloaked Vikings up over. He's getting cloaked for the Banshee that's already out. He's hiding his buildings everywhere. He will lose this command center. But dude, Honmono's actually got a ton of mules in the corner because he had 3 orbitals. Dude, he's actually rebuilding. He's got a tank in the main. How the hell did he get a tank up? But there's 12 workers mining for Inexorable, and he's still got a lot of depots, so he's still in a good spot. This Banshee, he's like, oh god, run, run, run. The Vikings are closing in. He's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He's making it hard for Inexorable to put him out of this game. But Inexorable's like, I've got my factory, I've got my 2 barracks, my starport has survived, I can land that and build more Vikings, and I think Inexorable can rebuild his gases now as well, even though he's only on 1 command center. And you can see, oh my god, can he get 2 tanks up and defend this? He's got 2 Vikings. He's got a tank. A second tank's almost there. The Marines are going to find this base. He's like, wait, what the hell? Dude, does Inexorable screw this up? I think he should have enough. If he drops the Marauders on top of the tanks, he can just boost in and go. I think you just pick in and drop on his face. Pick up and drop on his face, I think, is the best way, and land the Vikings. Yes, he's going to do it. Or he drops around, even smarter. He might catch the tank. He might catch the tank. Oh, he catches the tank. That's a massive, great move for Inexorable. Gets the tank and denies the production in one fell swoop. Beautiful maneuver. Now, to be fair, he can float these buildings away, give up this position. Still has a starport, does cook Mono. He's back to 10 workers here. But the factory's going to burn down. Barracks will escape, but that means he's down to, what, 1 barracks. He's building 2 more. Starport's there. Only got 1 gas able to mine. Doesn't have this gas going. And of course, we do see more barracks for Inexorable. Now, I think Inexorable probably should just be building more command centers and like resetting to a normal macro game and just keep your opponent pinned on 1 base. But if Honmono brings this back, he is actually the wizard of all wizards, man. And he's making it hard. He's got 2 bunkers coming up in a tank. Inexorable wants to get in there before the second bunker's ready. Actually, there's a second bunker behind this front bunker, which is kind of hilarious. These Marines, though, only 2 Marines, not enough firepower. And he's going to be able to overwhelm it. The Marines will get rid of that Viking. It does take care of the medevac. These Marines will stim after it, kill the Viking. And that's going to be that. Honmono, what a cheeky bugger. Put up a very good... I really thought this game was over 3 minutes ago. Apparently not. Inexorable with 2 SCV pulls gets it done after kind of getting wrecked by the worst proxy I've ever seen. Sorry guys, you meant to have already sent an SCV across. The fact that Honmono plays it like 6k MMR and does this build multiple times incorrectly and sees nothing wrong with this, like, it's incredible. It's like watching Hero be an actual championship caliber player and just mess up his wall off every single game and constantly leave his wall open. You're like, this seems like a really simple thing you should fix. But that, gamblers wouldn't be gamblers if they fixed the crazy shit they do, guys. I love it. Thank you so much, Honmono and Inexorable, for playing these fantastic games. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was definitely not your mum and dad's TVT. And let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more games from both of these players. I've cast both of their games separately before. Rare I get to cast them together. But yeah, you guys let me know which player you'd love to see more from in the future. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye and good night.